Master, dinner is served.
Igor, it's not that I don't appreciate the effort, but you know I prefer my meals uncooked. And how many times have I told you about using garlic?
Yes, Master. Forgive me, Master. Please.
Bite into Paradelphia. Thursday nights at 8, only on Toxic Radio.
Paradelphia. Because what if it's all true?
Enjoying all that Toxic Radio has to offer? Well, make sure you like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be the first to find out about ticket giveaways, amazing guests, awesome contests, and Toxic Radio events. Just search Toxic Radio Live, all one word, and press that little button. Every time you do, someone here at Toxic Radio will get their wings. Yay! Well, not really. Aww. But we will get a warm, fuzzy feeling in our tummies. But then again, that just might be the beer. Anyway, like and follow us, and we will see you out there on the interwebs.
Hey, buddy. Rah. Hey, man, that's a sweet heavy metal happy hour t-shirt. Where'd you pick that up?
Thanks, dude. I got it at the Toxic Radio shop.
Toxic Radio has a shop?
Yeah, dude. It's in the app or online at toxicradio.net.
That is sweet.
Yeah, and I also got a rockin' Toxic Radio hoodie and a Red Band Underground shirt. Dude, I'm gonna look so rockin' at the party tomorrow.
Well, I think you look pretty now.
Oh, wait, what?
The Toxic Radio shop is a place to get all your Toxic Radio gear. Shirts, hoodies, stickers. Find it at toxicradio.net or on the app. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic. Hey, where are you going, man?
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Birds Deep. That is right, episode 9. And we are going to go deep on the birds. I got my man here, Mean Gene Walzak.
Mean! Whoa! Gene.
And me, the Godfrey, THEEGODFREY. See all of our social media handles down there on the screen if you want to get at us during the show, after the show. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we're on there. Be easy to find us. We got a lot on the docket today. Jersey violations, the game last week, grades on it, how'd they look? The game coming up, a lot of stuff talking about. Should Miles Turner start? Should he not? What should the rotation be? Tons to jump into. What do you want to jump into first this week, Gene?
We got to go grades, bro. We got to grades.
Okay.
Grades last week. Then we're going to talk about the game a little bit. Then we'll get our violations. Then we'll get into this week's game.
Okay.
So
Sounds
start with
good then.
grades.
So you want me to go first on my grades?
Yeah, man. I went first last week.
Okay.
It's only fair.
I'm going to give Jalen Hurts an A. A flat A. An A is an A, but I'll even give him an A+, actually. I'll give him an A. It wasn't perfect, but it was...
You're going a little far.
I'll give Sirianni an A as well.
Okay.
And I'll give... I didn't have a problem with Jonathan Gannon this weekend. Maybe that's because, the Broncos were a little fucking flat and Teddy Bridgewater was diving out of plays, but they did what they were supposed to do up there. They went on a road game. A lot of people said it's going to be hard to go to Denver. I might give A's across the board, actually.
I think listen, this is what happens. You win a road game. You blow out, win on a road, and all of a sudden A's are getting thrown around like they're chopped liver.
Well,
let's start with Hurts. Hurts, I gave him a B.
Okay.
Not a B+. Not
actually,
an A minus. Not an A. Not a B minus. No, don't change. Don't change.
I forgot about a play.
Stay strong. Stay strong.
I forgot about a certain play that made me want to not give him a B. An A.
I give Hurts a B. He was 16 of 23 for 178 and 2 touchdowns with an interception.
Yeah, an interception is.
With that being said, like that, nobody would look at those statistics and say it was A. The reason I gave him a B and not a C, because I'd be closer to a C than I would be to an A, would be watching the game and the intangibles that he's shown. He ran for 70 yards. He completed a little bit a little bit over 66% of his passes, 67%. I'm not in love with the yards per completion.
Right.
Well, with that being said, it's a B. It's a solid score. Jalen Hurts is growing on me, and I love watching it. He's still, still hasn't played a full season, and he's getting better weekly, and the coaches are putting him in a much better spot to win. I'll say next with Nick Sirianni. I gave him an A. Nick Sirianni is the only one who deserves an A this week. Nick Sirianni is putting Jalen Hurts in a position to win. And listen, say what you want. They had 30 called runs, 30 called passes. Now, 7 of Hurts' 13 runs were designed pass plays that he scrambled. 6 were designed runs. So he actually literally fell right on the nose, 60 plays, 30 runs, 30 passes. I think that's ideal. He showed up there with a game plan. He got Devontae Smith involved. You got to give the head coach a lot of credit for the play calling, the usage of every player on the field, and the growth of each player. So I give him credit for Jalen Hurts' growth. I give him credit for Jordan Howard's growth. I give him credit for Devontae Smith's growth. Nick Sirianni deserves an A. And then my last one is Jonathan Gannon. He gets a B. B is not bad. B is good. B is not a C. B is not a D. B is not an F. But it's not an A. And you can't get an A when you give up 5.3 yards per carry in the run game. And you can't get an A when the quarterback completes 60% of its passes. So, they sacked the quarterback once. I mean, yeah, they were in his face a little bit more than previous weeks, but you're talking about going from nothing to something. And yes, they did have a fumble return for a touchdown, but Melvin Gordon dropped the ball. He went in the hole and dropped the ball. It wasn't punched out. He basically ran into a player, ball popped out. Darius Slay was Johnny on the spot and ran it back for a touchdown. Great play. But doesn't change the fact that the Broncos still moved the ball, scored 13 points. They were in the red zone twice and failed to come away with points. So they had 13 points before failing to come away with points twice. So ABB or BAB, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, I don't disagree there. If I'm going to have to stick to an A, it's going to be a low-level A because I forgot about that interception. That was a bad interception, but they still saw a lot of growth. My thing with Jalen Hurts is I saw some things where I had a moment where I was like, wow, that is improvement. Well, stepping up in the pocket, keeping his eyes down the field, navigating the pocket. I saw that it was pretty consistent, and it didn't seem like it was something where he just was forced to step up. Like he was, strategically stepping up and keeping his eyes down the field. The pass to Devontae Smith was a pass I probably wouldn't expect him to be able to do a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So the thing I like about him is he is improving, and that's encouraging. And the decision making I felt was better, except for that interception. It was funny. I was saying that I was posting online like Jalen Hurts has look improved, and then right after that he throws an interception. I'm like, son of a bitch. And everybody's like, see? And I'm like, come on, relax. And then people were commenting saying, oh, don't get a Trevor, the game's not over. Well, they won anyway. I gave Jonathan Gannon an A because I don't know what I'm going to expect of him, but I do know that I was better than usual. I was happy with the defense's effort. All I heard all week was that they're going to run the ball. They're going to throw the ball over the middle. Jerry Jeudy got pretty much shut down. He had like four catches for like nothing, like 40 yards.
Okay.
I know because I'm on a daily fantasy team and disappointed me heavily. But that being said, Cortland Sutton pretty much got shut down, which is good. And Teddy Bridgewater, he is what he is, and they exposed that. And it wasn't a dominating defensive win, but they took advantage of the opportunities when they were presented to them. A la Darius Slay, knowing on the field that they had a 12-player personnel. They said the heavier guys were out there. And he said, I know if I can get out, I can get away from those guys. They can't. He said the fat guys can't catch me. He was saying that. So
Slay's hilarious.
Yeah, so he knew
I'm done with the hate on Slay.
I mean, I don't know.
I really am. I'm done with the hate on Slay. Like, I'm so
Is there that
tired
lot of hate on Slay out
Yes, all the time.
It's kind of ridiculous.
It's absurd. Defensive player of the week. Listen, I'll say a bold statement. Ready? Darius Slay has a better case for being an all-pro cornerback than Trevon Diggs.
Yeah, because Trevon Diggs is going for the interception and he gets burned a lot more.
All or nothing type player.
Right.
Darius Slay, I put his stats up. His PFF stats.
Vontae Samuel, right?
Yeah, Vontae Samuel.
Yeah, Vontae Samuel. Yeah, I combined Avonte Maddox and Samuel's name there. So, but that's what there was a criticism of Samuel, and their interceptions are good. I mean, that's valuable to have on a team. But Slay's playing cornerback; he's shutting a receiver down.
Yep.
So
2 targets,
you need that.
1 reception, -2 yards,
especially
fumble recovery and a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, I respect him because he has been getting criticized, and what I respect is he went out and performed and did his talking on the field. He didn't go Jalen Reagor.
Just tired of the criticism.
Yeah.
Like, it's so dumb.
It is.
Like the Eagles get a player in here that plays good football, and because the defense as a whole isn't playing well, like you're criticizing him because he gets paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to criticize somebody who gets paid a lot of money, criticize Fletcher Cox. That's fine. Don't criticize Darius Slay, who's doing a hell of a job playing corner on this team. Like, let's run him out of town. It makes sense.
Yeah, and that helps your offense, your defensive line that isn't really blowing the world up right now, too, on the back end. So
100%. 1 sack, 16 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I thought
it was a big sack, but
that's not a complicated offense to face as a defense, though. And I'm going to say that because Vic Fangio is a pretty bad head coach. He's a great defensive coordinator, but he's not a good head coach. But it doesn't take anything away from the Eagles' win. Jalen, Sirianni did really well. It looks like he's starting to play to the players' strengths, call plays and scheme around what players do well.
Yes.
And that is what you need to do to work with what you have. Old sales term, SWAT, sell what's available at the time. You use what's available at the time, and that's what he had. And, he's bringing Jordan Howard off the practice squad. Can't believe he was on the practice squad, but, that might have something to say more about Jordan Howard last year, because last year he did look awful. But he's doing well. Boston Scott's doing well. And you get Miles Sanders back. I think he's using that team effectively, and I was encouraged by Devontae Smith because he went up against, although he's a rookie just like him, a big-time corner in Patrick Surtain, and he performed.
Abused him.
He abused him, and I love
it.
And that is what you like to see from your number one pick in the draft, and he is also developing well, and that's a good sign because it's hard for a receiver to develop if you feel like the quarterback's not developing. And I do feel like they're developing together, and that tells me they're putting in the work. And that's important. They don't think it's given to them. You see a lot of quarterbacks come in that are raw, like Jalen Hurts, and they'll get drafted high, and which was a horrible draft pick and a horrible comparison to use, but like Dwayne Haskins, like the knock on him, he wasn't putting in the work. Some people thought he should have never been drafted high, but he was. And people are saying he wasn't putting in the work. There's multiple quarterbacks you can see like that. And when you
whoa, you're not comparing Jalen Hurts to...
He's better than Dwayne Haskins, yes.
But why would that be a comparison?
It's not a comparison. I'm just talking about a comparison in a way that he came into the league, Dwayne Haskins, and didn't put in the work and had some raw skills that people were excited about, but he did not put in the work.
But like Jalen Hurts
is.
Jalen Hurts and Dwayne Haskins are polar opposites. Jalen Hurts has none of the really physical attributes to be a star quarterback in this league. He can't make all the throws, and he's all will. He's all try hard. Right. He's all intangibles. He's all stay late, extra work.
But they said that about Russell Wilson when he was drafted, right? They were like,
Russell Wilson.
No one thought he was going to be a star.
But the difference is Russell Wilson has the arm. But
he wasn't a great thrower till like year 3.
It doesn't matter. Jalen Hurts is at very, very best in his entire career, he will be a poor man's Russell Wilson.
I'll take it.
Which I'm okay with.
I'll take that.
But at very, very best in his whole career, he'll be a poor man's Russell Wilson.
Listen,
that's what he is.
There's a lot of quarterbacks that
I like him.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to be Russell Wilson. I'm just saying Russell Wilson was a quarterback that I saw develop over time. If you look at the stats, his first 2-3 years were not good passing, and he developed his deep ball developed. It developed.
Bro, that deep ball, that rainbow, oh man, it's a thing of beauty.
Yeah, but he didn't have that right away coming into the league.
No, he didn't.
And
but he had the arm for it.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, I do like the way he's using his legs. I think he's making more effective decisions with his legs, and even outside of the pocket, inside the pocket. So Sirianni gets it A. I think that was one of his best performances of the season. And going on the road, getting a road win, and everybody's talking about how it's harder to win a mile high. Statistically, it is. And a lot of people have trouble adjusting, but it looked like the Broncos were having trouble adjusting in their own home field to me.
It's a letdown game. Listen, at the end of the day, the Eagles 100%. Played great, but the The Broncos just had that emotional high off beating Dallas after losing Von Miller.
100%.
It's a letdown game. It is what it is. The Eagles played great. I got to give the Eagles all the credit in the world, so I'm not going to take away from it. But
if we learn anything in the NFL this year, week to week can be different no matter what you think.
Different season every week.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Rams. Like, woo! So, right now.
I'd like to see Odell Beckham's career record in games he plays in.
Oh, it's probably not 500 at best.
What?
I think it's fine.
It's not even close to 500.
Well, at best. I mean, it's probably lower.
It's not close to 500.
It's probably like 350, 400.
I think he said one season in his entire career over 500.
Yeah.
His whole career.
I don't think Odell has the intangibles.
Weren't they like 3-5 last year when he got hurt? And then they went on that big run. He got hurt last year. Not even close.
Yeah, that game was interesting to watch. And the defense knew they were going to try to throw it to Odell Beckham, and Jimmy Ward was like, "Thank you," but that's a whole nother.
He stopped the route.
Yeah,
stopped his own route. Selfish player. Odell Beckham sucks.
I agree. So that's our grades. I think I'm satisfied with that. Can they build on it? Can they build on it and come and get a home win? Because the home win has been elusive for them this year so far. So have they won at home? I don't think they have, right? They have not a single home game, right?
They lost to San Fran. Let's just go through it and make sure. Lost to San Fran.
LA.
Lost to Tampa. Lost to
LA.
LA Rams. Oh, LA Chargers.
Chargers, yeah.
LA Chargers. And, I don't think they have a home win this year.
Mm.
They have 4 wins, right?
Yeah.
So they beat at Atlanta. They won at Denver. They won at
Carolina. And what was the other one? They lost to the Chiefs at home.
I know, but what was the other win?
Oh, yeah. Can't believe I'm not remembering this.
Or do they have 3 wins? They have 4 wins, right?
Yeah, 4 wins, yeah. I can't believe I can't remember this.
Hold on. I got you.
They lost to
I got you. The beautiful thing about technology. I'll tell you in 10 seconds.
Can't believe I can't remember this.
Carolina.
Oh, they beat the
Lions.
Lions.
The Lions.
Yeah.
At
the Lions. Yeah.
So they don't have a home win this year. They're road warriors, though.
Yeah, that's good. Still got to win at home, though. That's
got to protect turf.
Yeah. So this is I think they have an opportunity. We'll get into that later on, for sure. So we got our grades out the way. We might as well talk about this. No, I guess we'll leave that.
Leave that for afterwards. We're getting violations.
You want to do the violations?
Hell
now?
yeah, I want to get. I've been dying to get in violation jerseys for 2 weeks. We're at the goddamn tailgate. I was talking about this.
All right, let's go one by one. We do go countdown from 5.
Yep, you start.
Okay, so
you're number 5.
Some people may hate
number
me.
5 will always love us.
Some people may hate me for this one, but if you wear a David Akers jersey, it's a violation.
You scumbag.
Yep, I know.
That's my number 5 too.
Oh, is it?
You're such a scumbag.
He's a kicker.
I agree with you 100%.
He's a kicker. Listen, is he great? Yeah. Was he a great part of the Eagles?
Great. Hall of Fame player.
Unless he wins you a Super Bowl like Adam Vinatieri,
correct.
You are not allowed to wear a kicker's jersey to the damn game.
I agree. I wouldn't even wear Jake Elliott's, but the violation is definitely bigger than David Akers. Guy's not on a team, will never be in the Hall of Fame, will never be in a Ring of Honor. He's a kicker that never won you a Super Bowl. Sorry. No. I agree with you. David Akers is my 5 too. You might as well move right to your 4. You have the same 4 as me? I'm throwing something at you.
You won't have my 1, though. I'm pretty sure you won't.
Okay.
Rodney Pete's my number 4.
Okay.
Won us a playoff game against the Lions. I remember that game, the Lomas Brown guaranteed win. I was 15 years old, watching it, going crazy in my room. Didn't have any Lions fans or Lions fans that are friends to talk trash to because I didn't know Lions fans or Lions fans existed. But they do. And they beat them resoundingly. And if I see you at a game 15 years later wearing a Rodney Pete jersey, it's a violation. Get rid of that jersey. Stop
they always wear the old fading. Like the replicas, the midnight green replica Rodney Pete jerseys. Like you can barely still see the 9.
The Target specials.
Yeah.
The Russell Athletics.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
My number 4 is a guy that had his best years without us, had a terrible year with us, never really meshed well with the Philadelphia fan base. DeMarco Murray. I still people rocking that 29. I get it. You spent a lot of money on it 10 years ago. He stunk for us. He was terrible for us.
I didn't like
whether
that
you want to say it was Chip Cal. You know what? You remember DeMarco Murray signing, how it happened, right?
Yeah, Frank Gore backed out.
Yeah, correct. They signed Frank Gore. Then players on the Eagles team were like, Nah, bro, you don't want to be here. Frank Gore rescinded, went to Indianapolis with Andre Johnson, and they panic signed DeMarco Murray.
Man, I
and
forgot.
To run him out of the shotgun makes no stinking sense. And listen, it probably wasn't his fault that he was bad here, but his best years were as a Cowboy. He was only here for, 1 year?
Yeah, one maybe. Yeah,
1 year. Get out of here, bro. Stop wearing a DeMarco Murray jersey. Throw that away.
Please. My number 3 is Sammy Sleeves. Sam Bradford.
I don't ever see anyone wearing that.
I've seen a Sam Bradford jersey or two. And I just...
Punch that man in the face. I'm not here to promote violence, but you can punch him.
Or, I mean, I would give
I got your bail money.
If he cut off the sleeves and wore it that way, I might give him respect.
Like Sammy, like tank top?
Yeah, Sammy tank top or something.
Yeah, but he wore sleeves.
Yeah, if he was cutting the grass in it, it's all right. But I can't see that Eagles game. It's not okay to cut the grass in it?
No.
Okay.
Wear an old softball championship jersey.
What?
Like a shirt, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And Sam Bradford, he's starting quarterback, so some people, that's the easiest jersey to get duped into is when it's the guys are starting quarterback.
It's really funny that's your number 3.
Yep.
My number 3 is all previous shitty quarterbacks. I kind of cheated here.
Okay.
I got Coy Detmer, Bobby Hoying, Rodney Peete, Mike Vick, Kevin Cobb. Throw them all away. You can't wear them. The only previous quarterbacks you're allowed to wear on this team is Randall Cunningham, Jaws, Donovan McNabb, and Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Only 4 you're allowed to wear. Playing Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
And Nick Foles.
Well, yeah, Foles.
You can wear Foles, too. That's 6. Leave it right there. That's it. Throw the rest away.
What about a Norm Van Brocklin?
No.
You can't wear a Norm Van Brocklin?
I guess if you have an old school Norm Van Brocklin, like the Kelly Green, like yes, you can wear a Norm Van Brocklin.
There's some old guys in South Philly that punch you in the throat right now for saying that.
I don't mind. That's fine. I've
Like,
never seen Norm Van Brocklin play.
They're like, I have that in my jersey, and there's moths eating it right now. I have that jersey still. That's what they're saying. And like, how dare you?
Good. Norm Van Brocklin, I'll allow. I'll add him. He'll be number 7.
Okay.
So that's my number 3. All previous shitty quarterback. Dude, the Coy Detmer ones drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Bobby Hoying.
You ever see a Ty Detmer out there?
Yes. The same, but you don't even know because different number.
They were both
They
shitty.
both say Detmer.
They were both shitty and said Detmer, yeah.
Correct.
It's like,
At least Coy was a little bit like, like.
Coy's number was 10. Was Detmer 14? I can't remember.
Who cares? Yeah. Throw them away. You shouldn't know their number. I know Coy's was 10, though. I actually liked Coy. Coy coming in that San Francisco game on Monday Night Football and beating them like 38-29 and separating his shoulder.
Getting carried off on a stretcher.
Yes. I loved Coy, but you can't wear his fucking jersey no more. Throw it away.
Yeah, yeah.
Get out of here.
So, my number 3.
Yes. Your number 2.
2 is Kevin Turner. I always used to see a bunch of Kevin Turner jerseys. He was a role player. Come on. Kevin Turner does not deserve space in your closet. This is ridiculous. 34 Kevin Turner I saw too often, and that was what did he play early on in the Andy Reid era?
It's really funny you have that because I have a very similar but good.
Yeah, I'm like, why Kevin Turner? It's almost like, oh, I'll buy this jersey.
Kevin Turner. I'm not gonna say the other one because you might have him as your number 1, but there's a bunch of them like really really shitty Eagles players that like were absolute role players that shouldn't be worn anymore.
Yeah.
When you're done, I'm going to give you like some honorable mentions because I don't want to take any of your thunder.
My number 1's a borderline Hall of Famer. You guys will be surprised by.
Okay, well then Kevin Curtis. You got a bunch of these shit bag players. James Trash, Todd Stinkston, all those ones. You just can't wear them anymore. And if your borderline Hall of Famer is one of 2 players, I might hit you.
I don't think you're gonna know who it is, but it's personal with this person too, but I'll explain that on air as well.
Okay. My number 2 is Mike Mamula.
Ooh,
Mike Mamula stunk. 6th overall pick. They tried to invent the edge rusher position in 1995 when he got drafted. He stunk. He never got to the quarterback. He was too small. He got bullied around. He got ran over. And that 59 Mike Mamula jersey is still at goddamn stadiums.
I feel like you
Throw it away.
I feel like you can be
light it on fire.
You can be in South Philly or Northeast Philly.
Wait, your number 1 might be who my number 1 is.
No.
Okay.
It's not.
All right.
It's not. He is a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
But so I feel like when I think of a Mike Mamula jersey, I envision a chubby white guy in South Philly and Northeast Philly walking out of the beer distributor with it on.
Yes,
It's
I agree with you.
Here I am. Got a pack
You
of Busch
drafted
Light.
a white speed lineman.
Champagne
Get
and
the
beer.
fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Stop.
Boston College, my ass. Yeah. That guy was the 6th pick in the draft, first round.
Yep.
Ooh. That was during the Ray Rhodes era, or that was right before?
I think it was Ray Rhodes.
I think it was Ray Rhodes, yeah. Yeah, that's not good when that's
Mike Mamula.
Yeah. So my number one, and he's also a criminal too, in court, convicted of a felon.
Oh, okay. That's good. I got you.
Irvin Fryer.
Oh, I thought you were going to say someone else.
Irvin Fryer grew up in New Jersey. He's currently, he might have served his time, but he was having his mom apply for loan applications because he got into real estate. And it's personal for me too, because Gene will relate to this. When I was in cell phones, I sold him an air card. And he was insulted that he had to pay a $100 deposit because his tax IEN on Sprint had a deposit because it was brand new. Dicked me for the $100. Thought I was trying to rip him off. The fuck you, Irvin Fryer. But the reason why, as an Eagles fan, I think he sucks is because he retired as an Eagle. They gave him a fucking Harley Davidson, and then he signs with the Redskins next year. Remember that? Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He signed with the Redskins next year. They retired to give him a little send off. He just wanted out of town. So he did felony time because he had his mom filling out mortgage applications fraudulently. That's real truth.
I'm sick to my stomach that my number one isn't on your list.
Well, I mean,
Don't say it yet. Don't say it yet.
I'm not going to say
sick
it.
to my stomach that he's not on your list.
Yeah. I wanted to be a little different. Plus, I figured you might go with that. I didn't think it'd be your number one, but I figured it'd be on your list.
100% my number one.
Irvin Fryer, though, borderline Hall of Famer, actually, because he did have good numbers. He had a good career at the Dolphins before he was in the Eagles. From Mount Holly, New Jersey, actually. Went to Rancocas Valley High School. Same high school as Franco Harris. And I grew up in Burlington County. But he's a true scumbag. And after that happened, I thought...
Pay your deposit, Irvin Fryer. You still owe Godfrey $100.
Pay your fucking deposit.
Scumbag.
How about, take the $100 and buy some class. You can keep it, all right? So
No, I want the $100.
Okay.
Pay for a week at
This
a show.
guy, he does that, retires, and then that happens later on as I meet him in life. I met him. I saw him in person. He had an office on Wall Street, or Walnut Street in Philly.
Wall Street.
Yeah. He thought he was a Wall Street guy. He got into real estate, and it turns out that, he was a pastor too, but he was signing fraudulent loan applications.
Sounds like a great guy.
Real great guy. Had his mom doing it too.
Ready for my number one?
Yep.
My number one is a guy that could have made all our dreams come true. He was a guy that came in here and he had one of the best seasons ever in the history of our wide receiver room. He came in, he scored 14 touchdowns, he got hurt, rushed back to get in the Super Bowl, played in the Super Bowl, played his ass off, forced his way out of town, and went and played for Dallas. And people in this city still wear his fucking jersey. It drives me nuts.
He is a Hall of Famer, though.
I don't
it's
care.
tough.
You don't play a season and a half here. Get every guy in Philly's dick hard watching you play like you're amazing, like awesome player, and then force your way out of town because you and Donovan can't get along. Like I'm
Well,
sorry.
the contract too was that. It was that and the contract, right?
It was. You listen to him talk on podcast today. He
Well,
still talks about how he like regrets leaving Philadelphia and that like him and Donovan just couldn't get along because of like Donovan was so mad that the fans embraced him more. And
I do feel like the fans did embrace him more.
I agree. That doesn't matter. You forced your way out of a city that loved you, that supported you, and went to the division rival in Dallas.
Do you think management could have did more to keep him by adjusting his contract, maybe?
You can't adjust his contract when he can't get along with the franchise quarterback?
Yeah.
And at that point, Donovan's a borderline Hall of Famer.
Right.
You got to figure out a way to get along with him. Like, bro, they need to hire, like, Dr. Phil to put them two in a room and figure it the fuck out.
I know this might sound crazy, but if Dan Fouts is in the Hall of Fame, Donovan should be because Donovan's numbers are actually better.
It's different. It's per era, though.
Yeah.
Like, numbers,
Fouts
yeah,
never made the
Donovan's
Super Bowl.
numbers are better than Troy Aikman's. What's your point?
Who?
Donovan's numbers are better than Troy Aikman's.
Yeah, that's true.
By a lot.
But Troy has multiple rings.
No, but my point being is different eras create different numbers. I look at them per era. I don't think Donovan's a Hall of Famer.
No, I don't either.
I don't ever think he was a top 3 quarterback when he was playing football.
Wait, that 1 year I thought he was a top 3 quarterback, and the only reason he didn't win MVP was because Peyton Manning decided to throw 40. Yeah, decided to throw 49 touchdowns that year.
Okay.
So I think he came in second MVP voting, maybe third. I can't remember, but He 30 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That was his best season by far, and that was the most heartbreaking thing about that because I think they could have got to at least one more Super Bowl and possibly won it because you had Westbrook, who was relatively young at that point. You had T.O. and Donovan never
And
really.
their defense was solid.
Yeah, and Donovan never really got a receiver like T.O. through his.
You know
whole career.
why?
Because Andy Reid and
No, because Donovan McNabb. Then he had Jackson and Macklin.
toward the end though.
No, but the problem with Donovan McNabb is, bro, we're all the star of our own film, right?
Right.
Donovan McNabb needs to be the star of the Eagles. And, like, I agreed with a lot of things that T.O. said. Doesn't change the fact you can't wear that jersey after he forced his way out of here and went to Dallas. Just can't do it. The violation jersey. You wear that jersey, you're just admitting that. Then he cried over Tony Romo. It's my quarterback. That's my quarterback.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Bro, shut up. So
that was after the 44-6 drubbing that they got at the vet. Or no, it wasn't the vet. It was the Link at the time for the division title, right?
Yeah.
That was they got smoked.
The Eagles killed them that week.
That was a beautiful thing.
Oh my God, it was amazing. I had that as a background on my phone. Was Troy Aikman getting Tony Romo getting destroyed.
Yeah.
I actually thought you were gonna say Trot. I was gonna get really mad at you, bro.
What for a violation jersey?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say Trot at one.
No, because he's a
borderline. Like I thought you were gonna say Trotter. I was gonna get real mad
because
the Axeman.
He
is
came
amazing.
back. He
still,
came back.
Still does.
If he never came back, it would have been a different story. But he came back, and he is not a Hall of Famer, but he's definitely gonna be. If he's not already Ring of Honor, if he's not already,
he is a Ring of Honor guy.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So I never keep track of the full Ring of Honor, but
bro, I'm still good with an Ike Reach jersey because of what he does. 94.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm good with Ike Reach jersey.
Ike Reach jersey is borderline violation, but
I'm good with a Hollis Thomas jersey too.
Hollis Thomas, okay.
I'm good with those jerseys. Just don't give me
because they stayed around the city.
Correct. They didn't do shit for the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Like these guys did stuff for the city, man. All for them.
Yeah.
I support, bro. And you know what's funny? Another honorable mention, and I can't put it on there because I own one. Is the jersey with your own last name on the back?
Well, you know, that's funny because I didn't want to bring that up, but for you it has sentimental value though. From what you told me of this story.
Yeah.
I've been tempted to get a jersey with my name on the back, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I can't do this to myself.
Jamie, what's the name? You said I haven't heard a name yet.
The name? A name? What name is this?
Hold on. I want to hear this. Can't hear you.
Mike.
I'm not having a good day. Sorry, fellas.
Nah, you're good.
Okay, I know who you're talking about, but I didn't hear his actual name come out of your mouth for your number one.
Okay.
So who was it? I know who it was.
Terrell Owens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. Terrell Owens. Yeah, I didn't say the name. I apologize. Thank you.
My fondest memory of Terrell Owens isn't actually a game thing. It's the night before the Super Bowl. I was down in Old City. I think it was 2nd and Walnut or Chestnut. 2nd and Walnut, I believe. And we took over the whole intersection, and we were just jumping up and down screaming, T.O., 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 T.O. The T.O. dance was the shit that year.
Yeah,
and the cops were just like, fuck it.
T.O. was awesome, bro. I loved him when he was an Eagle, but when he forced his way out of here, you can't, like, that love has to end, especially when you go to Dallas, bro. If he forced his way out of here because that whole thing with Donovan and went to, like, an AFC team, like, say he went to the Chiefs, I'm fine with it. You can't go to Dallas, bro.
The one thing I got to do.
As much as we embraced you and you went to Dallas, bro, I rooted for T.O. in Buffalo. I rooted for T.O. in Cincinnati, not Dallas.
The crazy thing about T.O. is
Dallas cut him too.
T.O. Was almost quarterback proof. It didn't matter who his quarterback was. He always produced in fantasy. I do remember that.
He was an asshole. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah. Well, you know, he was. But listen.
On to this week.
T.O. Yeah. Some people would take that stance about Carson Wentz too.
I was waiting for you to. I waited for you to.
I'm on the fence about that because
you know
his
why?
Season led to
2-3 years
a Super
from now,
Bowl, and
it could be a violation. 2-3 years from now, it could be a violation. But
so there's
right
a time
now,
stamp on it.
Yes, you know. I'll tell you why. Right now, it's a lot of people wearing it to protest what the organization did.
Okay.
Like, I'm a diehard Eagles fan. I want Howie gone.
For me,
but I still want I still wanted Carson here. I'm
for
fine
me,
with that.
it's acceptable for this reason. His season helped carry the Bears to a Super Bowl.
So you mean you have two different reasons why it's acceptable. I get your point, but like you can't say it's acceptable 4 years from now. 5 years from now, Foles will always be acceptable.
Because he won.
100%.
Right.
Dude, I owe Foles a hand job and a beer. Like, seriously.
You know, after hearing his nickname, I don't know if I could do that. And his name's Big Dick Nick. Yeah, you're like, oh,
whatever, man. I got 2 hands.
Bring your baby's arm over here holding an apple. Come on. Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't. Yeah, Big Dick Nick. And the funny thing is, it was confirmed by dudes. Lane and Kelsey confirmed it.
Oh, God. Stop talking about his dick. I was kidding about the handy.
Well, you're the one that said
I know, you're right. I got to shut up.
Probably we're going to do it with eye contact, too. So, on to the next one is we already recapped the game last week. We're going to preview the game next week.
Yes. Well, why don't you do the running back thing first?
Oh, yeah. So, into that. This is part of the strategy anyway, right?
Yes.
So, Miles Sanders is coming back. My answer is going to surprise you guys for those who listen to the show.
Me and you're going to argue this. I know it right now.
But
can't wait to argue it, dude.
Miles Sanders is coming back, and Jordan Howard and Boston Scott have been doing well. They've been running the ball well, and you hear a lot of, hey, they're hitting the whole Miles Sanders dance, which I've said myself. But there are some things that have changed in the running game while Miles Sanders was injured, and you have to acknowledge that at least. They're running the ball more, okay? Zach Ertz is not a good blocker. All-time great Eagle, great pass catcher, but not a plus blocker as far as the tight end position goes. He's serviceable. Gollard's a better blocker. I'm not saying he's like light years there.
Got to talk about that extension, too.
Yeah, he did get that extension today. And Goddard was hurt a couple of games. He had the COVID. And they had guys in that were just fucking blockers.
He had the COVID. I love you.
Yeah.
He had the COVID.
Yeah. Coronavirus? No, but so you had tight ends in there where they're just in there to block. So you're running the ball, you got block at tight ends. The holes that have been opening up. Landon Dickerson has been playing phenomenal, as you pointed out.
Thank you. About fucking time people gave Landon Dickerson credit.
The holes they've been opening up have been phenomenal. You can drive a semi-truck through there. Not take anything away from Jordan Howard, Boston Scott. So to me, I think Miles Sanders has to be part of the game plan because I think if he gets a hole that big, he could take it to the house.
It's not the question.
What's the question?
Who should be the lead back? Who should get the majority of the carries?
Does that matter, though?
Yes, it matters. Who should be the lead back? That's the argument. No one's saying they're not going to play Miles Sanders.
So,
they're arguing who will be the lead back, Jordan Howard or Miles Sanders. That's their arguing. That's the argument. Like, it should be part of the game plan. Of course he should be part of the game plan. Should he be the lead back?
See, that's tough because I want to see him as the lead back because I want to see him in this current offense. I don't feel like he had a chance in the offense they were calling before.
So your answer is yes?
Yes.
Okay. I actually agree with you.
You thought I was going the other way, huh?
I did because I think Miles Sanders should be the lead back too. Once again, for what you said, this had nothing to do with Miles Sanders. His number wasn't being called. Now they're running the football.
We've both said that he's
I don't think
not
he's
as good
20,
as
25 carry running back, but if he gets 16 and Howard gets 8 and Scott gets 5 and you're running the ball 30 times a game, I'm good with that.
Yeah, and
problem is this week you're going against number 2 rush defense in football.
And the interesting stat about them, I don't know if they lead the league, but they're very up there about. I forget how many yards they average behind the line of scrimmage. They get a lot of stops behind the line of scrimmage.
Correct.
They're playing behind the line of scrimmage.
Do you know why?
Good linebacker play.
Mario Davis is great. Cameron Jordan's great. It's not why.
What's that?
The difference in their run defense happened 3 years ago or 2 years ago when Malcolm Jenkins got signed there. Because when you have a safety that plays basically big nickel, it's called big nickel. When you have a safety that can play in the box and can stop the run and is the quarterback of your defense, that adds an extra unblocked fast guy that can make tackles. And Malcolm Jenkins plays every snap for New Orleans.
They had him last year, though, and the Eagles did run on them last year.
They did. They also had Jalen Hurts, who they didn't know how to account for him.
True.
That was the first game Jalen started.
There is a minus from their defense last year that I don't feel they replaced. And he doesn't get talked about a lot, but he's a very good player.
Okay, who?
Trey Hendrickson is now a Bengal.
Okay.
Part of that run-stopping team last year, part of that defense. They're
still
still a good
number 2
defense.
run defense in the league.
Yeah, they're still good. I agree. But I do think that you still have to run on them, and you still have to try to run on them because
the reason New Orleans is where they're at has nothing to do with their defense.
No.
Their quarterback play wasn't great with Jameis, and then it goes down the tubes even more when you have Trevor Siemian.
It did get kind of hosed last week on that call, though, don't you think?
I'm sure they did. Not the problem. I don't think they win the game regardless whether they get the call or not.
Yeah, and that's fair point because
around 10 points, they scored to make it 2.
Yeah, you got to run the ball, and I think the thing here is Miles Sanders is more of a home run hitter, and he is. And I want to see what he can do. And the thing about it is this is what we were talking about. Is him. He's not a 20 to 25 carry guy. But this is the perfect scenario for him, where you have a Jordan Howard in the mix, you have a Boston Scott in the mix, and you have Miles Sanders in the mix. I think he should get 16 touches. You give Jordan Howard 10 touches. You get a few touches in there for Boston Scott, and I think that's the perfect mix. Andy Reid has done it before, and he's won with a 3-headed monster. When Westbrook was young, you had Corral Buckhalter, Westbrook, and Deuce Staley. That was a 3, right? You could do that here too.
I'm good with a 3-headed monster. The year they won the Super Bowl, they had a 3-headed monster. You don't have to wait back that far. They had LeGarrette Blount, they had Jay Ajayi, and they had Corey Clement. It's the same thing. The point being is, if you want to run a 3-headed monster, the head of that 3 heads has to be Miles Sanders.
I agree.
Getting the ball 16, 17 times.
I agree.
But it's perfect for Miles Sanders because he's not a lead back.
He's not, and that's what I've always argued with Eagles fans about. They're like, oh, Miles Sanders, they don't use him more. I'm like, dude, you can't use him 20 to 25 games. You want to know why? He's going to get hurt. That's what happens. You have to sprinkle in his touches, and I think he is skilled. I think he can hit a home run.
He got hurt them using him 4 times.
Right. I mean, yeah. I always go back to that Eagles game where Boston Scott, we're like, who's this Boston Scott guy? And then it's because Miles Sanders got hurt. It's important plays down the stretch of the game, and he couldn't be in there. They had Scott in there, and he scored those touchdowns. So, that's how you have to use a guy like that. And I think he could have a good game against this team because you hit him with, you pound him with Jordan Howard, right? And then if you need to give Jordan Howard a rest, you still run Scott in between the tackles, and you're going to run off tackle with Sanders, or if they're opening up holes behind Landon Dickerson and Kelsey and all those guys blocking on the second level, give Miles Sanders a shot. That's where he's going to be effective. You get through that first level and you get into the second level, he dances, makes a cut, and then he's off to the races. And that's what you want for a couple reasons. You want to limit the snaps that the Saints get on offense, and you want to run down the clock, grind it out. And I think our defense is better set up to dominate their offense because our defense is better than ours.
About our defense dominating anyone?
Well, because are you afraid of Trevor Siemian?
No, but we're not dominating anyone.
Okay, but is Trevor Siemian going to run the ball? Is he going to pass the lights out on our secondary? Our secondary is strong, though,
Bro,
right?
They're missing their starting quarterback and their starting running back and their number 1 wide receiver.
Who is their number 1 wide receiver?
Michael Thomas.
Okay, yeah. I forgot he hasn't played forever. It's like
they got no Michael Thomas, no Jameis Winston, no Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, effectively their number 1.
The Eagles don't win this game, I will be floored.
Yeah, and Alvin Kamara is a plus.
Floored.
Are they favored?
Eagles are 1.5-point favorites at home.
Wow.
Which means they're saying that the Saints are a better football team.
Okay. I mean, I don't think Trevor Siemian's played horrible. He's not anything to write home about. I'm surprised.
You know the big key in this game is, right?
What's that?
The biggest problem, and I'm not like trying to be smart when I say this, is the coaching difference between Sean Payton and Nick Sirianni is fucking light years.
Difference, yeah. I agree.
Nothing against Nick Sirianni, but it's not close.
Well, you've seen Sean Payton in a situation several times where he's been short important players and still came up with wins, right?
Yes.
Sean Payton's criticism really is the playoffs, but overall, in general, he is a better coach than Nick Sirianni. There's no debate there, but you've seen him show it, right? Like last year, they lost to the Eagles. Yeah, Doug got over on his golfing buddy Sean, and the Eagles won. But he won how many games when you were Teddy Bridgewater? 5 years? I mean, 5 games. And I remember that too because I was like, they're gonna lose this game. It's Teddy Bridgewater. They're gonna lose it. They're gonna lose it every fucking week. I was picking the Saints to lose. They won every single fucking game. They went into Seattle and won when they were playing well that year. They won several games where you're like, how the fuck are they winning these games? And Sean Payton is a very good coach at making adjustments with the players he has. I am surprised they haven't gone with Taysom Hill. But to me, I guess he says Simeon's the better passer, so he wants to do that. But I mean, it's not like they got Traquan Smith and Marquez Callaway and Deontay Harris are your receivers. Our cornerback should be able to shut all those guys down. All of them. I mean,
the problem is we don't run man enough.
Yeah.
And in a team like New Orleans, your defensive strategy has to be run man.
Yeah, I agree.
You shouldn't run zone versus this New Orleans team.
I think you should blitz too. I mean, Trevor Siemian isn't a guy that you're worried about, standing there taking a hit in the pocket or throwing the ball. You want to get him, throw the ball up, you get your hand in there, you get his arm off trajectory, move him off his spot, you get a duck flying out of there, and you might get another Darius Slay interception.
Wounded duck.
Yeah, I mean, Trevor Siemian is a backup quarterback for a reason. I mean, they tried to make him a thing in Denver for about 3 games, and that was over. That was like, 2 years ago? I can't remember.
Trevor Siemian.
He's a serviceable backup, but
yeah, serviceable.
But I mean, Sean Payton is the better coach, and you know what? Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator, isn't bad either, right?
I'd give him a little leg up over Jonathan Gannon.
That I would too.
The Eagles are more talented than New Orleans Saints. They are. That's weird to say.
Do you think Marshawn Lattimore is like a really good quarterback?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think that matters.
Yeah. I don't. I think.
You know, the one thing the Philadelphia Eagles did offensively in the draft the last few years that's changed the dynamic of the way defenses have to play them is they added such a speed dynamic that you notice when teams play the Eagles 2 years ago, you had everybody in the box.
Yeah.
Couldn't throw the ball over 10 yards. Now you have to have safeties deep, which allows them to run the ball, which allows those crossing routes. It doesn't matter how good your corner is, you have to have safety help because the guys are too fast.
You know what I do want to see the Eagles do, and this is a weakness of.
What do you want them to? What do you want to see them do, Godfrey?
I want more screen passes. I want more, and I want more passes in the flat because the linebackers on.
I've never seen a team fail at more screen passes than the Eagles.
Yeah.
I feel like every other team knows how to run the screen except us.
And we're so used to it because we had years of Andy where they were known for running the screen well. Like they were the standard in the league for running the screen.
Can you give me an example of the last time the screen worked for us in a game? Ever?
I mean, I got to go through so many failures. I'm just trying.
That's my point.
Trying to dig and
find
one or two.
I think crossing routes all day, man. Crossing routes, slant routes, sluggo after they start biting on that slant. Sluggo is the slant and go, if you don't know what that is. When you start getting a team that bite on the slant route, you give them the old slant and go, and you hit them on the out route, or basically on the go route.
Dallas Goedert's going to be back, right? So, I mean, that's something that...
Is he cleared?
It says it's look like he's looking to play. Okay. And I'm looking...
I didn't know if he cleared concussion protocol.
I'm curious what they're ranking.
Which, by the way, that was a fucking dirty hit. And and the officials that are still arguing that wasn't the helmet hit, they need their eyes checked.
Yeah, it seems like they... You know what's funny with helmet to helmet, and I've heard other people say this, it seems like they just want to call it when they want to call it. It doesn't...
You want to call taunting on a kid from Chicago, but you don't want to call that helmet to helmet. You fine the kid from Chicago $6,000 because your referee checked him.
They fined him? I didn't even...
They fined that kid. Cassius Marsh.
Yeah,
I want. If he has a GoFundMe, I'll pay it. Bullshit.
So
practice squad player. They fined him $6,000 because the referee hip checked him.
Yeah, the Goddard needs to have a big game. I think not a huge game, but they are stout against the tight end. They rank 7th against the position. The Saints. But they are not great.
Malcolm Jenkins.
They're not great though. And if we can exploit this, Boston Scott can catch the ball out of the backfield. Jordan Howard, you're not looking for him to do that. Miles Sanders, you would hope, but I mean,
Miles Sanders drops the ball more than Nelson Aguilar.
He's part of the reason the screen sucks. But Boston Scott can run the screen. I've seen him run the screen. And they are susceptible to running backs catching passes in the Saints because they have bigger linebackers. They're not, you know what I mean? They're not They're bigger.
They're run stopping.
They're run stopping linebackers, right? So you can exploit them on the edges.
That was a ding. Great job. I love that.
You can exploit them on the edges, and Miles Sanders can do what? He can run the ball to the edges. That he can do.
You can't run to the edge.
Well, I mean, he's fast enough to do it.
You have to run up the middle versus the Saints. You cannot run to the edge. You start at one really good point, and then you.
But I'm just saying he has the speed to do it. You don't think they're going to run any sweeps, nothing like that.
The sweep play will be terrible for them.
Well, that sucks because Nick called me and told me he was doing that. Sorry, guys.
You need to run the ball in between Landon Dickerson and Jason Kelsey.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's your strength right now on the run game. I mean, I haven't really paid attention to how Lane's been playing. I mean,
doesn't matter. Cameron Jordan, no one's stopping him by himself.
You don't think you can match up well with him?
No.
Even at this stage in his career, you just think Cameron Jordan's that down? I mean, Cameron Jordan is older. He's not
28.
old.
He's not that
29.
old.
He's in the prime of his career, toward the end of it, 28, 29.
Cameron Jordan's unbelievable.
He's great. Was he drafted by the Dolphins or the Saints?
I think by the Dolphins, and then got traded to the Saints.
Yeah, Dolphins once again trading away talent. They're good at doing that.
How's that working out for Ryan Tannehill?
Right? All he needed, he'll tell you, I called that year in preseason.
He's 32. I was wrong.
Tyler would tell you, I said on our show in preseason, I said he'll have Marcus Mariota's job and he'll do well. I called that in preseason.
And he's drafted by the Saints.
And
wrong again by me. That's 2 in a row. I don't do that often.
I couldn't remember who he was drafted by either. I'm getting him
wrong again.
Maybe I'm getting him confused with Cameron Wake.
That's exactly how I got him confused.
Yeah.
That's the same thing you did.
Yeah, it was Cameron Wake, and he turned out to be a bust, right?
Yes.
He was an Oregon kid, wasn't he? I can't remember. I think he was. I think he was a Duck. Anyway, that being said, I mean,
Let's get into our game predictions, brother.
Yeah, what do you think? I mean, I feel like you gave your version of what you think they need to do to win, right? So
Good. Give yours.
no, I gave mine. I
gave mine.
Okay, I didn't want to make sure I didn't overtalk that because I thought
Run the ball up the middle,
Mhm.
hit slants, crossing routes.
Well, what's the defense got to do? I kind of talked about that. I mean,
The defense has to play man defense. You can't. You got to blitz the quarterback. You have to not just sit back and let Trevor Siemian throw the ball or let Mark Ingram run the ball up the middle.
they're going to try to run the ball a lot with Mark Ingram. 100%, they're going to try to run the ball a lot, and you saw them doing that last week in the game against the Tennessee Titans. And the Titans don't have nearly as good a secondary as the Eagles do. They do have better linebackers, and they do have better people on the line overall. But the back four, the Eagles are better than them. Byard's a really good player, so I have to mention that. But in general, I agree with you. But
say our back four is better than their back four.
I think our back four is better than their back four. You don't
Do you
think
do
so?
drugs?
So Byard's really great, but who you think Malcolm Butler's not on the team anymore?
Oh, you're talking about the Titans back.
Yeah,
four.
yeah.
Oh, you meant the Saints back.
No.
I was like, what the fuck?
I'm
are
just
we
talking.
about?
I'm just talking about how the Saints are playing last week versus
That's fair.
the Titans.
I was like, the Eagles
No.
have a better back four than the Saints.
No.
They have Malcolm Jenkins. They have Marshawn Lattimore.
No.
They have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Get the hell out of here.
Well, he's more known for his trash talking, right? You
Great
know?
trash talker.
Great trash. Yeah. No, definitely.
Jalen
not.
Reagor gets thrown out of the game for punching Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
That would be great. And then he'll get into his DMs later.
Oh, Jesus.
That's how Jalen Reagor rolls.
Give me your score prediction.
You little
Bitch.
score prediction. I don't think we're gonna have a high scoring game here. Obviously,
I agree.
I think I'm picking the Eagles to win. Finally, I'm seeing a 20. I'm seeing a 24-17 win.
21-16 Birds.
Okay. Yeah.
21-16 Birds.
And they'll fucking lose because I picked them to win this week. That's what will fucking
probably.
happen. These cocksuckers. But
let's get in. Do you want to get counterfeit green? You want to do quote? I like both.
Let's go quote. You go quote first because
Okay.
I am semi unprepared, but I'll have it in a second.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
For the sports quote.
Don't even tell people you're unprepared. Just tell me to go first.
You go first.
When a man is wrong and won't admit it, he always gets angry. I use that quote because a lot of people are wrong about Jalen Hurts. And, his development has been better. And I've no problem admitting when someone's getting better. I still don't see him as a top 10 quarterback ever in the NFL. With that being said, I'm not giving up on him being that either. Just my prediction, I don't think he's great. But with that being said, he's improving, and he's proving a lot of people wrong. And I'm tired of, just the blatant hate of the kid. Kid's got great work ethic. So when a man is wrong and won't admit it, he always gets angry.
Yeah, that reminds me of Shakespeare, who protesteth much, right? I agree with you because sports lately, or I should say the past couple of years, I feel like, especially in Philadelphia, has become politicky in a sense, where it's like you have to choose one side or the other. It can't just be, well, this is the situation. And it's annoying. It's annoying as fuck.
The whole world's politicky at this point, man.
Yeah, but it's always been nice that the
tribalism.
sports was,
I'm going to come on The Godfrey Show Thursday night, talk about tribalism one week.
It's probably in the annals of, of my shows talking about that. Tribalism is a horrible thing. But in sports, I kind of get it because you are kind of like with your tribe. But within the tribe, Eagles fans have their like own weird dynamic where it's like, I'm going to die on a hill with this no matter what. I'm like, but don't you want the team to win?
I can't be wrong.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, so
I can be wrong. I have no problem admitting it. I actually love telling people, like, one of my funny stories is, like, what's one player you were right about? What's one player you were wrong about? And I love talking about who I was wrong about. Forget who I was right about. I'm right about a lot of people. But who I was wrong about, kid from Oklahoma State, wide receiver. I forgot his name. Went to Jacksonville, got thrown out of fucking league. Oh, my God. What is his name?
It's not Blackman, is it?
Yes, I said Justin Blackman. I thought he was the second coming of T.O. I actually made a statement.
He couldn't stay off the weed.
I actually made a statement.
He wouldn't be suspended these days now.
Saying Justin Blackman will be better than Julio Jones and A.J. Green.
Whew, that's
his
rough.
rookie year.
Well, that's not as bad as Elliot Shore Park saying that Paxton Lynch would be a better draft pick than Wentz.
Oh, Jesus. Don't get me started on him.
Cordell Jones.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, that's
Elliot Shore Parks. If I could ever get him on any of my shows and just debate him, I will absolutely abuse him. I will undress him.
He's a thirsty takesman. Very thirsty.
I will undress that man. I hope he ever hears this.
Undress him. Wow. Hand jobs and dressing tonight. What's
Bro.
going on here? Yeah. I like that quote. And I got my quote. Make sure your worst enemy doesn't live between your own two ears. Right? That is from Laird Hamilton. And a lot of times, athletes get in their own head. We all get in our own head. And I think that the Eagles' worst enemy for a couple of these weeks were themselves. They were getting in their own head. Nick Sirianni was living in his own head, letting the fans dance in there, wearing his fucking Julius Erving fucking weird Homer take, and he was his own worst enemy. And I hope, but it looks like he's starting to do what he wants to do, form his own identity. Whether he ends up being a good coach or not, I don't know. But shit, if you're going to be an NFL coach, at least go down with the ship that you made and, taking your shots, right? And it's encouraging to see them use the strength of the offense. I mean, you're seeing other players bloom around them. And you know what? Good for him. But you're your own worst enemy sometimes, and that was definitely going on with the Eagles for the first 3-4 weeks.
I agree. Are you ready for your counterfeit green this week, or do you need time for that too?
Give me some time for that too.
I love you. My counterfeit green this week is very easy. It's Jonathan Gannon. Everyone thinks the Eagles defense has arrived because they beat Teddy Bridgewater and Melvin Gordon fumbled the ball and Darius Slay ran it back for a touchdown.
That's true.
They ran the ball 30 times. They controlled the clock. They basically lucked out on one possession, and they got to stop on another in the red zone to allow no points on two possessions in the red zone. With that being said, I don't believe Jonathan Gannon has really adapted or evolved. They still only had one sack on a quarterback. For the strength of this team to beat their defensive line, and only have one sack in the last 3 weeks. I can't. I'm gonna die on that hill. Right now, my counterfeit green's Jonathan Gannon.
Do you think it's more talent derived or scheme derived?
Scheme derived.
Okay.
You can't run cover 3 zone.
Who's your best DN on the team?
Right now, it's Barnett and Sweat.
Okay.
Sweat is.
Sweat. Yeah, I think Sweat too. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
You have Sweat, you have Hargrave, you have Cox, you have Barnett, first-round talent. You have BG.
There it is with that word again, Cox.
You like it. You're looking for it.
I'm not giving hand jobs out. That's all I'm saying.
I am. Listen, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
Yeah, his tag is right there. You slide into those DMs with eye contact.
Going down in the DMs.
So that's a good counterfeit green. I think that's accurate.
It's nice coming prepared.
Does my counterfeit green have to be a player, or can it be someone talking about the Eagles? I think actually you've done that before too.
Good.
My counterfeit green is for Joe DeCamara.
Oh Jesus.
I like Joe DeCamara. I listened to that midday show a lot during work. Nothing against him, but I want to lump him in with a lot of these other guys that were saying, and I've teetered on this, that were like, I'm out on Hurts after game 2 or 3, and then it's okay to have that opinion. But then he jumps back in like, oh man, I'm really seeing improvement. I'm really seeing that. He said he was out on him completely. He's not going to be the guy, and he's trying to kind of hang on that right now just in case it does go south for Hurts. And I'm like, that is so counterfeit because you have them doing that, then you have these Eagle fans doing it. And there's a lot of Eagle fans that are, they're counterfeit green this week because of why? They want to give excuses of why he isn't improving, why he hasn't been good. There is obvious improvement in this kid. And as an Eagles fan, it's really counterfeit for you to be like, he's not that good. I don't want the team to win. So that's what you're saying, right? You can say the quarterback needs to be better. You could improve on the quarterback next season. Maybe you get Russell Wilson, whatever that may be. But you got to watch the game and not live in the box score and wake up Monday morning and listen to Angelo and then feeding off that bullshit.
Angelo fucking loves him.
Yeah, he does.
Loves Jalen Hurts.
But I'm just talking about feeding off the temperament
Yeah.
of the radio station, right? And Joe DeCamara is the king of counterfeit green this week. I mean, he fits right in there with the Elliott Shore Parks of the world and people like that. And to me, he's more of a broadcaster. ESP is just a troll takesman. But outside of that, that is my counterfeit green, Mr. Joe DeCamara. I like him, bath type tub machine guy. But at the end of the day, you can't just say I'm out completely and then try to reform your opinion where you just want to peek over he might be good. So I'm going to slide in there and then put some stipulations in my opinion.
Dude, listen, when you go on a podcast or you go on a radio show or you go on anywhere, your job is to give an opinion and give your opinion. And I just, to me, you can say Joe DeCamara, but what I would say is anybody that sits on the fence all the time that, is so scared to be wrong that they don't give an opinion.
Right?
Or people that can't admit they're wrong. There's nothing worse than, a Skip Bayless that, lies into his... He still thinks Tim Tebow's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
How is that possible?
It's my point.
They must go to the same church or something.
People that do shit like that can't give an opinion, don't be afraid to be wrong, admit when you're wrong, and just give an honest take.
Can't you just picture them going to a Joel Osteen church in Houston, Skip Bayless and Tim Tebow holding hands in the front row?
He gets locked in on things. He won't give Steph Curry any credit in the world, but he would love to bash. He loves to praise Tim Tebow. But.
It's because he's a troll too. I mean, the camera's not a troll, but you're absolutely right where you're going with that. I mean, trolls get on my nerves because it's easy to just say I'm going to take the opposite way, just to get likes, clicks, or emotion out of people instead of talking about the real situation. I detest it. I feel like it's a cancer within sports talk on a lot of stations when guys are like that. I'm more of the old school guy, hey, yeah, thanks, let's go Pats. Fuck the Pats. What's the Tom Brady cheer we did? Tom Brady dropped it. You dropped it?
Oh.
Tom Brady dropped it?
Yeah, talking about the pass in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, he tried to pull off the Patriot special. Dropped it. That sucks for him. Imagine if he did catch that and he ran it in on us. That would have been the worst ever.
No, he would have fell down. He would have got the first down and fell down.
The ghost of Daniel Jones would have came out of nowhere.
Yes, he's not running anywhere.
By the way,
went right down after he got that first down.
That was the most epic trip ever, that Daniel Jones trip, and I truly loved all the creative minds out there that put the Curb Your Enthusiasm song under it. It was, I couldn't believe there was no one around, and that would have been an 80-yard run, and that would have probably changed the outlook of that game too, right?
Yes.
So another memorable Eagles Giants, but yeah, that's my counterfeit green. People like that. Thank you for expounding on that for me, Gene. I just, listen, opinions are opinions, and it's okay to be wrong. Everybody wants to dunk on someone, and there's been plenty of people I've been wrong on, and it's okay because it means your opinion's genuine, and I think people are drawn to genuine people that are actually talking about what they actually feel, not what they want to sell.
Any final thoughts, sir? I have one.
You go. That was final. That was pretty much my final thought.
My final thoughts is today is November 19th. And today is my father's birthday. My father's been gone for 2.5 years now. And dedicate everything I do in the podcast world, everything I do in the sports world to him. He's at home right now. I have him in an urn. It's a midnight green Eagles urn with an Eagles logo.
Really?
I've been.
Which Eagles logo? Old school? New school?
It's the current Eagles logo.
Okay.
But we watched the Super Bowl together, went to Frankfurt and Cotman together. He's got me into football when I was 3 years old, taught me that, you can't be my son if you're not an Eagles fan. You can't be a Cowboys fan and be my kid.
Sounds like good parenting to me.
Yeah, man. I miss him every day. I dedicate what I do, anything I do in this podcast world, anything I do in the sports world, to my dad, Gene Welzak Sr. I love you. Thank you for all you do. And with that, let's sign out from Birds Deep.
That's right, guys. Thanks for listening. We will not be here next week.
We will not.
Black Friday, taking a little vacation. Gene's got business to tend to. I got business to tend to. But we will be back next week. If you want to talk to us about the game during the week on social media and the interwebs, as I like to say, you can actually find us on there. You see how to contact us on the screen. And you can catch all the past episodes. Catch this episode. We will have it posted shortly. If you haven't heard it all, iHeartRadio, that's where Gene likes to go for his, right? We'll post a link to the page, Spotify, all that. And that's pretty much it. And this is E. Godfrey, not saying goodbye, just saying take it birds deep.